My name is Marike, I'm 21 and I identify as a South African Kiwi, we could say. I've been in New Zealand 5 years. It was a mixture of things, but basically we moved over as a family and there's a lot of things going on in South Africa that made us realise we should keep our options open. We were really attracted to the New Zealand lifestyle and just the people, and because we visited before we moved over. I guess there was a lot of push factors from South Africa, but also the pull factors from New Zealand. I guess when I experience a bit of banter or a bit of prejudice when it comes to my culture, it hasn't gotten to a point where where I felt really uncomfortable. I kind of see it as the way that I view my culture. If I'm ashamed about my culture, or if I'm ashamed of being a white South African, then those kind of comments and things will bother me more. But recently I've just learned to really embrace my biculturalism, and so those kind of comments, I don't take offence anymore because it is part of who I am and it is part of my history and my identity, and it's something that's worth celebrating. But it does sometimes, especially with the language, because English isn't my second language, it does sometimes get a bit frustrating if you can't express yourself in the way you want to and people comment on that. Yeah, moving to New Zealand, I haven't been able to have those really deep conversations about my culture and my identity. I do find Kiwis to be quite tolerant and quite interested in different cultures, but it's service level conversations, and it's kind of like I can share a part of who I am, but not the full me and the full history and the full background and the full culture. So yeah, I do sometimes feel misunderstood, but I also understand that Kiwis are also just living, their own lives, and some people embrace the different cultures, other people don't really care, so I kind of get a mixed batch, you could say. To be honest, I would love to feel free to celebrate my culture more. There's a lot of kind of shame involved with being a white South African because of our history, which I understand, but I wasn't part of that, and because of that idea about, or because of what happened in history, I feel like I can't fully celebrate my culture as a South African. I have learned that the easier way to kind of cope and integrate is to lose my accent really quickly, or try and kind of adapt the Kiwi lifestyle, but in a way I've traded my roots to fit in and to be accepted. And that was a choice that I made, but I think if I felt more free to embrace my culture, that probably wouldn't have happened to that extent. It's only now that I've left school and seen a bit more of the world that I realise how important and special it is where I come from. So yeah, when I think about the label Kiwi, I feel really comfortable to identify with a Kiwi or a South African Kiwi, just because there are so many different cultures and races present here, and especially in Auckland where I live, and so many different people that call themselves Kiwi, and I think that is such a beautiful part to see how people come together and identify with the same identity, even though they come from so many different backgrounds. And I'm very privileged to call myself a Kiwi because of how good this country has been to me and my family, and how I have been so accepted into this country and into the society, and it's just such a huge honour and privilege. So even though it's a huge privilege and an honour for me to be able to call myself a Kiwi, I know that is not the experience for everyone. My integration into New Zealand society, you could say, was quite smooth, and I know that's not the experience for everyone. So using the word Kiwi, I say it with pride, but I'm also so aware of the confusion and the hurt that brings for other people in the society, and that inability to identify with the culture, with the Kiwi culture, because there's that pull between their home country's culture and their new culture. And as an immigrant, it is sometimes so hard to know what you should bring over, what you should leave, what you should take, what to integrate two cultures into one. And it's a journey I'm still on, but I know that it is hard for some people, and it is hard for me as well. But I'm incredibly blessed to be able to call myself a Kiwi and be really proud of that. To be able to have conversations with people that are deep and that really gets down to the root issues and the root of who we are as human beings, and not just surface level conversations. And even though there are some people you can have those conversations with, there are still some people that don't realise what is going on, and that live in their bubble. If I think about my hope for the world, it's so huge. Because I have seen the racism and the intolerances that people overseas especially experience, my heart absolutely breaks for that, because I know how incredible some of those cultures are and how there's so many intolerances based purely on the colour of their skin or their culture. So when I think about the world, I would love to and I believe in a world where people can be truly celebrated for who they are and everything that they are, not just parts that people want to see or want to acknowledge. And my hope for New Zealand is, although we are doing a good job of accepting people, there are still a lot of issues and a lot of people that experience intolerances every day, and how that's affecting their lives is quite sad to see. So my hope for New Zealand would be to be a country where we can celebrate cultures, where we can see people for who they are, and not the colour of their skin or the way they do things, but just really celebrate those different cultures and the incredible diversity and beauty that brings to our world.